Hey YouTubers, Jen True here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. So I brought it inside today, and what I'm doing is I'm preparing my dehydrated meals for an upcoming backpack. My absolute favorite go-to backpacking dinner is sweet potato mash. And what I do with the sweet potato mash is I make like a apple maple pumpkin seed with raisin kind of slurry to add in with it. All of this is dehydrated. One meal weighs, sheesh, I think it's like just a couple, like it's nothing. I'll show you guys. Stay tuned, we'll get at it. So what you need to start. These are two pretty good sized sweet potatoes, okay? So about one medium sweet potato is a portion, okay? So these two gigantic sweet potatoes is gonna make me three meals in the end, okay? So just keep that in mind, how much you expect to get at the end, okay? Because at the end, that's going to help you to divide, it into the serving sizes that you want. Because now most of us don't eat dehydrated food every day, so you know how much sweet potato mash that's constituted that you're going to eat, regular. But once you dehydrate it, it's kind of hard to judge, like, how much do I put in the bag? Because you don't want to be starving on the trail. But then you end up at the camp, and you got like a bag of sweet potato that's like this, and you're cowing it down because you don't want to carry it back. Anyway, so stay tuned and we'll get to it. All right, thanks. All right, here we are. We are making sweet potato mash. We're gonna dehydrate it here for my upcoming backpack. And so this is the ingredient here. I diced up the sweet potato here. We got that boiling. Okay, so we got that off to the side. While we're doing that, we're gonna just go ahead, and we're gonna get these ingredients going, okay? So for the mash, sweet potato mash is sweet potato mash. You boil, you cut it up, you peel it, cut it up, obviously in that order. And you make your sweet potato off to the side. Then you need to make two other things, okay? So I referenced it's like an applesauce kind of slurry, and I dehydrate this as well. So what goes in here, so the recipe in total is, for one serving, is one medium sweet potato, okay? Mash that up. Then you want to get about 1/3 cup of applesauce. I like the chunky kind, all right? That's what I like. There's no added sugar or anything like that, non-GMO, all that. But you do you, whatever kind of applesauce you like, grab that. 1/3 cup, all right? Then the pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds, you put in whatever you like, okay? But what I do is I grab this little coffee scoop, and I fill it half with sunflower and half with pumpkin seeds. And I like the salted because it just adds like another little flavor layer to it. All right, so that's what that is. And then I get another just coffee scoop of the raisins, all right? Now, these two items I would prepare, just before I was getting ready to go, put them in a zippy. These are not gonna be dehydrated. These are trail ready, so this stuff is good, okay? So we're all set with that. So just remember, you want to get like 1/4 cup, like a tablespoon about of the sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and a little more than that with the raisins. Put that in a baggie, and then that's ready for the trail, okay? Now here, we have the rest of the slurry, okay? So along with the sweet potato, you'll go ahead and put that on your dehydrator on the tray and mash it out. Separately, on a separate tray, you'll incorporate this, okay? That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna go ahead, incorporate. Now, what I did is I went ahead and made 3 servings at once, okay? So that I can just dehydrate the 3 servings of my sweet potato and the 3 servings of my slurry. So you need to decide on how much you wanna make at one time, but I'll just give you the ingredients for 1 serving, and then you can do the math from there. So 1 serving of this is about 1/3 cup of applesauce. It was about, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Just depends on how sweet you like your stuff, and if you have sweetened or unsweetened applesauce, all that, you can make it at home and taste it to your liking. And then I do about half a teaspoon of allspice and half a teaspoon of ground ginger. All right, I don't know if I said about the maple syrup, but I do about yeah, I did, yeah, because it's a sweetener, okay? And so that's what goes in here. You just want to mix it up, and it's ready to go. This is ready to be dehydrated now, okay? But I'm going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and make the mash that up, and then I'll bring it back and I'll show you guys how I put it on my dehydrator. My dehydrator only cost me about $30 on Amazon. I've had it for a long time. It's lasted me a while. And I dehydrate all my own backpacking meals. I don't buy backpacking meals. I don't feel that they have the nutrients that I want, and the salt and all that, the sodium, it just is, it's not for me. I like to, you know, make my own food and bring my own food out there. So this is the way I do it, and this is one of my favorite, my absolute favorite backpacking meals. So I just thought it would be a great one to bring to you guys. So stay tuned and we'll get down to the dehydrating part. All right, thanks. All right, hey YouTubers, I'm just getting the dehydrator ready here. And so one of the things you got to do is you got to prep your dehydrator. And when you're dealing with mash or anything that's like kind of liquidy, you know, soft, it's not like a solid vegetable or fruit, meat or a thing like that, you got to use parchment paper, okay, in between the trays. Okay, so this is what the dehydrated tray looks like. All right, and here, let me show you what the dehydrator looks like actually. So this is the dehydrator here. Tray's just set on top. Okay, I'll bring that back in a second. And so what you want to do is you want to prep your tray, and all you need, okay, so they sell liners. They sell like these dehydrating tray liners or whatever. But all you need is, if you see that hole, that's how the dehydrator works, okay? Is the air just dries the food by constantly bringing warm airflow over it. So if you just fold, let me show you this. I don't know if you can see. If you just basically fold this in half, okay? And then just kind of cut, like, I don't even get fancy with it really. I just go to the middle and like, like that, okay? And then you have your airflow spot. So it only costs, like, for a roll of this non-bleach parchment paper, it's like under $5. And I can make a whole bunch of these liners. Whereas if you're gonna go buy just the liners, it's kind of a lot of money to invest. So you might as well, you know, I just like to throw that out there because that's what I do. So, all right, I'll once the sweet potato is ready to go, I'll bring it back, show you how I put it on here. Thanks. All right, so now we got the slurry. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the tray for the dehydrator, and I'll show you. I'm just gonna spoon this out here. I'm gonna try to get this on one tray, and then what I do is it's kind of cool. I'll bring it back once it's all done. I'll show you guys what it looks like. But then you can crack it into however many sections, because it's like kind of like fruit leather. You ever made fruit leather before? That's what it looks like. Okay, so you just continue to spoon this out. All right, and you're just smoothing it out on the tray, getting it right to the edges. And you want to, like, you know, when you, I don't know if any of you dehydrate or not, but you make it as thin as you possibly can without making it too thin, because you don't want it to like become one with the parchment. All right, so I'll let me get this where I want it, and then I'll show you, because you want to keep it fairly, you know, like a piece. Like, you don't want it to be broke. I'll show you, give me 1 second. And this will dehydrate nice. And I'll show you guys what I mean when it's gonna take probably a good 24, 36 hours for this to dry out. Probably 24, not usually 36. It's pretty dry right now. The humidity, I mean, as far as the environment goes here in New England. All right, so there we go. It's all nice. What I mean is it's like smoothed out. This thin part, you'll see right here. Once it's dry, it'll like go right into the paper. And so you want to be able to like break it up into like 3 sections so you can put it with your servings. Okay? All right, next we'll do the mash. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are. We got the sweet potato mash. Now, one thing I just wanted to point out to you guys is to make sure that when you have your trays, familiarize yourself with your dehydrator and make sure that you have your trays in the right orientation to go right on top, because I've learned this, you know, from experience. You kind of going through your motions here, and for whatever reason one of these gets tipped upside down, and now you've put the sweet potato mash on upside down, and I mean, you certainly can get it off. It's just a little bit, you know, of an unexpected challenge that if you can avoid it, it's probably best to do so. So, little tip. All right, now you got your parchment, you got your sweet potato all set, so it's the same deal, right? You just start to just kind of smash it out and lay it out. You already got it mashed. You don't need me to show you how to make sweet potato mash. Probably know what that is already. So then you just want to smooth it out. Same thing as the slurry, okay? You just get that right on this parchment. Now this, I have a tendency to try to smooth it out probably to about that thick, okay? I don't know what that is. There's no formal measurement here, okay? So we'll just get it down to about, I don't know, centimeter or so, okay? You gotta have a technical thing. I just do a couple spoonfuls, smooth it out, see what I got. It's like flakes, like potato flakes. I don't know if you guys have ever had dehydrated potato, but it's just flakes. A little different than the slurry. The slurry kind of comes out like fruit leather. Alright, but that should be, it's probably a little more than enough on that tray actually, but it's alright. You can always take some off, okay? Then you just get it on the tray. Just make sure that your paper, this paper here, doesn't get folded in. It just folds out, okay? You just stack them on. You don't have to use all your trays. I think they come with like 5 or 6, whatever. You can buy extra. I just do a couple scoopfuls per tray. Smooth it out. Go to the next tray. But you don't have to use them all. And if you want, you can do like, if you know you have like three portions, you can do like a portion on a tray or half a portion a tray over 6 trays. You know what I mean? And then that way the math is kind of done for you when you get down to the portion part. Because it's hard. Don't think about that after it's already dry. Think about that as you're drying it, your portions, okay? Because most of us don't eat dehydrated food all the time, so it's easier for you and for me and for everybody to know what a serving size looks like when it's, you know, in this state rather than in the dehydrated state, okay? All right. And that is it. All right, so check this out. Let me do this one more time. Smooth this out. Let's check this out right here. All right, smooth it out. And you get it, right? You just smooth it out nice. Like I said, you want to like maybe in the thickest spots, like maybe a centimeter, okay? So that's the goal. You don't want it too thin, but you want it thin enough. All right, and there you have it. So what I'll do is we'll get this on the dehydrator over there. And then I'll come back at you when it's all done, okay? Oh, let me show you how you put it on the dehydrator, actually. So let's bring this over. Let's see if I can do this without making a hot mess here. Well, we're gonna make a hot mess, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, YouTubers, so here we go. We got the dehydrator going. I got the slurry in there. I'm gonna take the lid off, all right? I'm gonna add the sweet potato mash. Right on top. Same thing, you just want to make sure that the paper is all on the outside there and not inhibiting anything. Alright. Go ahead and put the lid back on, and there you go. I always just, I'll set a timer, not a timer, but like make like a little sticky or set a timer just to remind myself so I know how long it's been on there, because sometimes, depending on the humidity, you know, it just depends. So I'll just go ahead and leave myself a note so I know about how long that it's been dehydrating. All right, so I'll bring it back once this is all dehydrated, and I'll show you guys what it looks like and how to portion it up. All right, stay tuned. Thanks. Hey YouTubers, thanks for coming back. So here we go. All right YouTubers, and we're back. So this is what the sweet potato looks like once it's dried. As you can see, it sticks on pretty well. So I misspoke earlier. I think I said it took like 24 hours or some crazy thing like that. I don't know what I was thinking. It takes about 4 to 6 hours, okay? Depending on how thickly you paste this out and how many trays you have and the size of like how many servings you make. But if you just stick to what, you know, we did, then, you know, it takes about 4 to 6 hours depending on the humidity. All right, so then you want to grab a couple bags, like however many servings you made. We did 3. So I grabbed 3 bags, and I already started. So I got 2 servings here. So this will be my 3rd serving. So what you do is you just go ahead and it just peels right off. And it takes a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and we'll come right back. All right. Alright YouTubers, so here we are. We got the apple sauce with the maple syrup and the spices in there. Now when you peel this off, it's going to come off like pretty much like a fruit leather. So it comes off in one, you just peel it, and it comes off like one big chunk. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is break this up into like 6 pieces, and then I'm going to put like, you know, maybe a few more pieces so that I can weigh how much I have here and divide it up into 3. So what I did is now I have all 3 of my servings. Each one weighs 1.58 ounces dry, just like this. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add this. So go ahead and stay tuned. All right, YouTubers. So it ended up that I had 3 ounces of the apple maple spiced, you know, sauce, dehydrate stuff. So what I did is I just divided it up, and so that 1 ounce of each went into each one of my servings. So it's 1.5 ounces of the you know, dried sweet potato, and then 1 ounce of the applesauce with the maple and the spice mix. So that pretty much concludes the video. This is your meal, and what you do is then you add about 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of boiling water. I'm just going to weigh this really quick. So it weighs 2.5 ounces, one meal. And then don't forget to add the pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and raisins later on. I weigh those out, tablespoon of each in a little baggie. And then, you know, when you're hydrating it, so you boil your water, you add about 1 cup to 3/4 of a cup, depending on the consistency that you like. And you add that right either to the bag or to your pot, wherever you want, and you just, you know, you can, you know, rehydrate it basically and reconstitute it, and then add your, after it's rehydrated, then add your sunflower seeds, your pumpkin seeds, and your raisin mix. But then, you know, what I do is I got my little kit already here, and this is just such a great meal out on the trail. It's one of my favorites. I actually look forward to this. And then, you know, it's just like warm and it's good food. There's no preservatives in it or a lot of salt. Like a lot of those backpacking meals are just loaded with preservatives and salt. And I just have a sensitive system. I eat very, very naturally and a lot of whole food. So those kinds of things just really rock my world. And when you're out in the woods, that's not really something you want to deal with. So I recommend this. Try it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Drop it in the comments below. If you haven't yet, and you want to, please subscribe to my channel, and hopefully we get to hang out soon. All right, take care. Thanks now. Bye.